Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Elliot here with MovieFiles. I'm about to walk into my 2 o'clock showing of the new PTA. We know we're on those terms. PTA calls me E-Man. No, we're talking about Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. We have Teyana Taylor, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Chase Infiniti, Regina Hall. I am really excited for this. I am a big Paul Thomas Anderson fan. I believe in my heart of hearts, he is one of the greatest living directors of our time. When you have a run of Boogie Nights, Magnolia, Punch Drunk Love, and one of my personal favorite films of all time, and I think it's one of the greatest movies of all time, and There Will Be Blood. The man is just a legend. Now, his most recent movies, I wasn't the biggest fan of The Master, Inherent Vice, or a couple years ago he did Licorice Pizza. Those films are fine, but I just think his first 4 films were just almost masterpieces, including There Will Be Blood and Boogie Nights. But either way, and Magnolia. Either way, I am hyped for this film. They premiered at festivals. I believe it was Venice a couple months ago, and the buzz around this film, sweeping at the Oscars, one of his best movies. It is epic. It's funny. There's a range of different things that this film has to offer. So I'm hyped, man. I am very excited to see this film. I know it's almost 3 hours long, so next time you see me, it'll probably still be light outside. But we'll be talking about one battle after the other when I get back and sharing my spoiler-free review with you all. So I'll see you all on the other side. Pardon my French, but holy shit. Oh my goodness. Let me look. I love doing these out of car or out of theater reviews. You get my literally live first impressions of a film. I think it's just more honest and raw. I don't have to overthink things. I don't have to, wait too long to get my thoughts out. So you guys are getting the raw, honest opinion after seeing Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After the Other. I'm just gonna say it now. Probably, I'm not saying it's the best film of the year, but it's probably one of my favorite films of the year for so many damn reasons. I talked about his filmography earlier in the movie. Like I said, I have my thoughts about him. I think he's one of the best directors that is living today. And I still think There Will Be Blood is his masterpiece. That top to bottom is one of the greatest films, in my opinion. This might be my favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movie. Again, there's a difference between, objectively speaking about something and then how you personally feel about something. I just think this film just hit me on so many levels, and it's so crazy because I think, I talk about on this channel a lot, how films are presented, whether it's trailers and posters and things. I don't know how you market a film like this, and I've seen the trailers. I'm like, this is kind of a mixed bag. But when I heard people talk about it, I'm like, what people are saying about this film doesn't make sense from what I'm reciprocating from the marketing. With that said, this is a 1-for-1 in regards to what I've seen so far this year. Of course, there's Sinners of the world, there's other great movies of the world, but this is a 1-for-1 in a sense of what I just experienced. This movie's almost 3.5, no, it's 3.5, it's almost 3 hours long, and it sprints to the finish line, and not in a bad way. It doesn't feel rushed. It's just constantly moving. The film, there's no breaks. There are literally no breaks. The way I would describe this film, again, it is a 1-for-1, but I'm trying to articulate how I felt while watching this. This is like a Sicario meets Big Lebowski meets Uncut Gems. You might be saying, what? That is the most weird mashup of films, but no, when you see it, you'll understand. I don't want to give too much away, but the film basically follows these revolutionaries, Leonardo DiCaprio, Teyana Taylor, Regina Hall, and a bunch of other great supporting characters that are doing what they deem to be best to create freedom, in an oppressed nation. And I will say this, in the times we live in, this might not be a film for everyone because it is a very politically driven movie. For a lot of the movie, it's dealing with immigration and so many other things, again, about freedom and what it means to have freedom. So it deals with that, but at the core, in the heart of this movie, is about family, broken families. It's about a father and his daughter. It's about a mother. I don't want to give certain things away with the relationships, but it's really about family and what people will do to protect their family or to harm their family. Oh my goodness, man. Where do we begin? I guess just from a basic standpoint, Paul Thomas Anderson directs the hell out of this movie. I don't think he has anything in his filmography that matches the pacing, the energy, the synergy that comes from this film, especially from the narrative perspective, this film is just the way he directs this movie just made me feel so confident while watching. Like he knows what he's doing. And I mean, of course, he's been doing this since the 90s, but he has such a grip on the scope. And like, this movie is so large. Like, when I remember the budget, this is like 150, 170, which when you think about it, you're like, a 150 plus $1 million Paul Thomas, what are we dealing with here? And no, all that money is in this film, and the way he handles the level of tension and the level of anxiety, but then also he mixes in these really like tender, vulnerable moments within the characters and the interactions, and there's a hint of comedy, as most Paul Thomas Anderson movies. It's very rare that he doesn't have some moments of like awkward comedy or like situational comedy that fits so well within the narrative. And you know, you could think that's actors that are so masterful in their profession, a la Benicio del Toro, who's not in it much, but as a sensei, oh my goodness, man. And again, it's funny I brought up Sicario. If you guys have seen Sicario, he's excellent in that. But man, Benicio's great. Again, I'll go to the performance here in a second. But again, I just want to say Paul Thomas Anderson, good gosh, man. Nominations coming your way, sir, as deservingly so. Narratively, structurally, story-wise, I was so invested into the story. Like the opening, I rarely check my phone when I watch a film, especially when I'm invested. But I just check my phone sometimes when I'm watching something that's really, you know, taking me back. And I'm like, how long did this take place? So I would say in the first 25 to 30 minutes, edge of my seat. The world building, the setting up these characters, the situations and relationships, excellent work. Excellent work of building a film. It is a perfect table setter. It is a perfect way to open a film, to just let you know the situation, where these characters are, how they're handling the situation they find themselves in. And oh my goodness, this opening, one of the best openings I've seen all year. Like I'm trying to articulate myself well, but it is such a great way to open this film. And then once you get into the meat and potatoes, and I'm going to try to go weave in these performances, Sean freaking Penn, who we all know is a great actor, maybe one of the best of his generation, from, you know, the 70s, 80s, all the way up to, not 70s, 80s, 90s, and so on and so forth. Like, I remember seeing him in, stoner movies, and of course, the Oscar performances he's given his career. This is a menace to society. Sean Penn plays this colonel that has an agenda to try to get into this, and this film goes in so many different directions. There's like, I don't want to give certain things away, but the his goal, his objective, mixed in what he's trying to accomplish on a personal level with his professional level, that character is like cutting through this narrative like a machete. Like, he cuts through this film like a demon in the night, man. What a great performance by Sean Penn on so many levels. He's so menacing. He's so unnerving. He's so uncomfortable to watch on screen. I wouldn't be shocked if he gets a nomination for Best Supporting Actor. Like, excellent work. Chase Infiniti is so great in this movie. She plays Leo's and Teyana Taylor's daughter in this film. She has so much, there's so much in her face and her mannerisms, and the performance she gives is so earnest. And I saw her, it was last year, I want to say, Presumed Innocence, with her, Jake Gyllenhaal, Ruth Negga. That excellent show. I got a sample test of what she is as an actor in that show. And if you've seen that show, great performance in there, and even better. Like, this is a young star in the making. Chase was excellent. Regina Hall, not in it a lot, but when she's in it, you feel her presence. She's excellent. Teyana Taylor, who I have been following since I was a teenager. There was a show on MTV. This was back in my MTV days called, what is it called? 16, My Sweet 16, I think it was called. That was the first time I ever met her or seen her. I haven't met her, but seen her on screen. And to see her career from being a dancer, a singer, now an actor. She was in a film a couple years ago. I think it was called, 1,000 Words, something like that. She is so great in this movie. Like, she has such a presence, such a swagger, such a persona. Loved her character, and also hated her character. I'll just say that at points. And when you see the film, you know why. Great there. I mentioned Benicio's great. Everyone's great. Everyone's fantastic. Everyone's great. Leo, okay. One nitpick. Leo's excellent. One of the greatest actors of all time. I said Big Lebowski. He reminds me of the dude. And Leo, when he plays bumbling idiots, we kind of saw him do that in last year or 2 years ago with Martin Scorsese's film, Killer of a Flower Moon. He kind of plays a bumbling idiot in this, kind of mixed in with like Jordan Belfort from Wolf of Wall Street. And it works for what he's doing, but then sometimes when he's placed in these situations, it's like everything's going at a certain pace, and then you have this guy, and it's kind of not jarring, but it's like it takes me out of like some of the more dramatic moments at points. It doesn't go on for a long time, but there's moments where I'm like, I wish this character was maybe not as silly, not as, a bumbling idiot at times. But Leo's great. Leo's great. He's probably, I don't think I've ever said this that I can think of. He's not bad in the middle. How do I articulate this? He's not bad. He's just not as interesting as all the other characters for me, which might be blasphemy to say, but again, he's good, but just not great for me. That's probably my only criticism. And also, and this is like a really nitpick, the end of the movie, like where characters are, I'm like, why in the world would they be? And knowing what's going on, why would you be there? But it's a small nitpick. And the ending just didn't have the oomph that I wanted, but that's all I got to say as far as negatives go. This movie, man, let me wrap this up. This movie is exhilarating. It is heart-pounding. It is heartfelt. It is funny when it needs to be. It is very timely. It is very politically driven. It is what I think to be Paul Thomas Anderson's most important film of his career. And I think this is one of the best films of the year, without a shadow of a doubt. I highly, highly, highly recommend this. For those, again, it is very politically driven. For those that sit on a certain way, might not enjoy themselves, but if you're open-minded, open-hearted, I think you're going to love this film just as much as I do. Like, this is an excellent movie. It moves so fast, but yet it has these moments that appreciates the excellence on screen, beautifully shot, score, cinemas. I can go on and on and on, as you all can see about this film. I'm going to give one battle after the other a 4.8 out of 5. My only issue, like I said, the Big Lebowski dude of Leonardo DiCaprio sometimes didn't fit what I thought was going on narratively and structurally in the film, but I understand why they gave the character the mannerisms and the kind of personality he had. And then the last little nugget at the end just didn't hit me like I wanted it to. But outside of that, like I said, it's probably going to be my favorite film of the year. Of course, we're in September and got many other great films to come out. But right now, it's probably my favorite film of the year. Oh, man. I need to see this again. This was an excellent experience. Thank y'all for watching my review of One Battle After the Other. Please do me a favor. Let me know your thoughts in the comments once you've seen it. If you've seen it, what'd you think about it? Performances, direction, score, cinematography, narrative, what worked, what didn't work. What's your favorite Paul Thomas Anderson film? What's your favorite Leo film? What's your favorite film of the year so far? Let me know in the comments below. I would really appreciate it. You all can do me a favor. Like this video. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that hype button. It allows the video to spread out to new viewers. So do me a favor, hit the hype button. Share this video to anyone and everyone you know that loves cinema, that loves talking about cinema, that loves exciting new things from great directors like this film. And consider subscribing to the channel. This is one of many reviews coming out in the coming weeks. I saw After the Hunt a couple days ago, and that'll be coming out in a couple weeks. Many other films that are in the running for Best Picture, Best Direction, all that stuff. So stay tuned for more to come. I hope you all are staying safe in this crazy, chaotic world. But it's movies like this that sometimes, even though it is politically driven, that takes you out of your everyday life, and you can just enjoy a crazy, chaotic journey like this one. And this is what I love about movies. These conversations, these directors, these stories. But I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.